What to do if you feel like you're doing really great work, you're great at your job, but you feel that no one is noticing it. Like you're not getting the promotions you deserve, you're not getting the recognition you deserve, and why does this happen? So what I've seen from my experience is that this happens, especially for STEM professionals, when we are sharing only the result of our work. Because if you think of it, we are trained to share the outcome. We are trained to share like, okay, we achieved this, we developed this algorithm, we found this result in science if you're doing some experiments. And we are so focused on the end result that it's very hard for people who have to evaluate us and our contribution only based on that. So the solution to this is to, instead of sharing your result, is to start sharing your specific thinking process and how you reached that result. Here's what I mean. So it is really difficult for a person who is a little bit outside our field, or even for a person who belongs to our STEM field but doesn't really work on the topic that we are working on, to appreciate the importance of our work and to appreciate the relevance of the work that we did. So what can we do? The best thing we can do is, instead of sharing just the results, share our thinking process. Why? Because that's what makes us different. That's what makes us the expert. And that's what makes people really appreciate our work. So the thing is that this is your unique selling point, really. Sharing your thinking process, sharing your creativity. This is something that really grabs much more attention, I would say, than the result itself. Especially when you want to work on many projects, you are aiming for some career progress, and you just want to be seen. Like you're doing this great work, but no one seems to see it. And the thing is that they are seeing just the end result, and they cannot really appreciate all of the thinking process and all of the processes that came before that result. So it is your job to share it in a way they can understand it. Of course, sharing this and sharing your thinking process is something that is quite complex, because people are not in our head. I mean, this is obvious. They are not us, so they don't know how we think. So when we need to explain that, we take it so much for granted that it can become so difficult to share it. So this is something that I talk a lot with my clients. I talk a lot with my clients about that, about how to share this thinking process, how to share these contributions, like what was happening when you were developing and reaching that result. Of course, it's a skill that requires practice, and the thing that we need to practice most is really this detachment from self, like being aware that other people cannot read our minds, that other people probably don't know the things that we know about that specific thing, because at the end of the day, it's our project, it's our job to know stuff about that. So it's likely that they do not know, and they probably don't even care unless we show them why should they care and why it is so important. So in order to do that, in order to develop that skill, the best thing that you can do is to really take your specific job and your specific task that you developed, that you went through in order to obtain some result, and start really just taking notes of the decisions that you took. Like, I decided to do this instead of that because of that reason. That's something already very, very tangible. Or I tried this, it didn't work, so I solved it that way. All of this is really gold. This is the problem solving that we want to show our managers, our employers, our colleagues. This is something that we want to share with them. And now, how do we want to share it with them? In a way they see why it matters. Why is it meaningful? Why was this decision so great? What did we achieve by doing so? So, of course, as I said, it's a skill that requires practice, but I really, if there is one thing that I could say every STEM professional and any professional needs to know how to do, is that sharing their thinking process to people who are outside your field and outside your specific task. Many times those are basically everyone except from yourself. And this is something like working on this skill is something that we do a lot in my coaching program, because I really want my clients to know how to do that, because that's like the most life-changing or career-changing skill that one can get. So if you feel that you are not getting the recognition you deserve, if you feel that you're working hard, but somehow those promotions are not coming, and those recognitions are somehow missing, it's probably because you're sharing the result and not the thinking process. So if you want to learn how to do that in a way that it's not like selling yourself, but just genuinely sharing your unique way of solving problems, I invite you to join my coaching program, and I will leave a link down below in which you can schedule a completely free discovery call. And in this call, you can share with me your challenges, your career progress. How do you feel that your communication skills and the way you explain your work and your thinking process to others is really affecting your career? So I hope to see you on the call, and I hope you will find this video useful, and whether you join my coaching program or not, that you will continue working on that, because it is really, once you learn how to do it, it is really a life-changing skill that can not only help your career, but it will really transform the way you think and value your work. So I hope you found this video useful, and see you next time. Bye bye.